Hi, I'm Nadine Aisha Jassat, and I'm really pleased to be here as part of talking about the drama of encountering the other. I'm going to be reading you a selection of 2 poems from my collection, Let Me Tell You This, and these are going to look on the poetry as, I guess, the drama of encountering the other, in the sense of describing encounters I've had in which I have been framed as the other and using my voice as a way of reclaiming power in these. So where I have been marginalized, using my voice and my poetry to take myself not in those margins where others would place me, but instead claiming space in the center, claiming my voice and saying, these are my experiences, this is what's happened to me, and this is what I think about them. I'll then go on to reading 2 poems about the drama of encountering the other, but actually internally and within the self, and what happens when we encounter senses of otherness within ourselves, the dualities that we all have, and how we claim within that the central point of this is who I am, claiming myself for myself. We only have 10 minutes and I'm going to try and fill that all with poetry. So to start off, I'm going to read you a poem from Let Me Tell You This. This is very much on the drama of encountering the other from the external, as I spoke about. This is called Scott Mid. I am 26, walking through quiet Edinburgh streets on my way to the supermarket. And there's a shopping list in my head, chanting aubergine ginger, butter to make ghee, aubergine ginger, butter to make ghee. Ahead of me, 2 children trail at the tailcoats of fathers who walk further along in heavy laced boots. And the wee boy turns and I smile and he screams. He screams, "You're a bad woman." And his sister hushes him away, apologetic. She tells me he doesn't mean it. But I am panic. Eyes to the child, to the pavement, to the wall. Did anybody else hear him? To the pavement, to the wall. Did anybody else hear? To the child, to the floor. Returning home, conscious of my face in that child's mind and the television he has watched and the newspapers he has read and the words he has heard, I have a memory, briefly, of a university friend in consoling tones, telling me that I could pass for white, no matter how gentle, no matter how serene, no matter how many good works I do, or taxes I pay, or lives I save. I will always be to them, a dangerous woman. And what are they to me? The next poem is called Hopscotch. And just like Scott Mid poses those questions of how the other, in that case me, is constructed in society and who is the real danger there, Hopscotch takes my lived experience via taking all the different words that men have said to me on the street. And believe me, this poem was written several years ago now, and I could rewrite a new edition. It takes all of those words and it throws them back. And it says, look at this. Look at the words that were sitting on my shoulders. They're not sitting there anymore. It's an attempt at taking power back through voice. Hopscotch. All right, tight pants, he says to me. I am 16. I like the way you wear that piece. I am 23. Nice puss. I am not a cat. Yowza, hey, beautiful. Isn't she gorgeous? Stunning. Bollywood babe, I want you. I'm sat on a bus with a stranger's hot breath. I want you. I can still feel his heat in my ear as I hear sexy, pretty, beautiful, fit, stuck up bitch. I'd give her one. What's wrong? Can't you take this? It's just a compliment. What's your name? Where's your boyfriend? Darling, I'd know. Has anyone ever told you that you look like Nicole Scherzinger? Has anyone ever told you you're beautiful? Has anyone ever told you they don't stop telling me? They're paving my streets with cobbles. Are you Spanish? Are you Greek? Do you speak Iranian? Oh, you're just another sunbed addict. No, I'm tripping as I walk on, but your hair, but your eyes, but your skin, but you don't look Scottish. And where are your family from originally? How I wish I had your tan. Is your dad in the Taliban? You should go back home now. Go back home. Go back to where your mum's a Paki lover. I was 14. Slut. She was 43. Slag. This isn't just me. These words, they are like Tuesdays. There is one every week, and I have held them between pressed palms and your locks. I have consulted them like a guidebook to my own hometown, clenched them tight in fists that now mark the imprint of nameless men trying to name me. I stare hard at hands and fists and feet. Don't walk, don't look, don't think, don't be. That key in my hand turning a lock in my throat. Don't feel. Another man's teeth as I walk these streets of you and me, yet I exist. I exist somewhere between are you Asian and nice tits, and let's just name the problem here. The streets I've walked in fear, and never once have these words begun in a woman's mouth. Still, I am leaving them here. If you would like, on YouTube, you can watch a film poem version of Hopscotch that was made, and it has all the men's voices. It has men's voices actually in it, so there were voice actors. So you can hear the different dramatic responses to this. It was made with an amazing filmmaker called Roxana Vilk. So if you're interested, you can check that out. So I want to move on now and share two poems almost working in parallel. So we had the first two poems about the drama of encountering the other, where I am framed as the other, and we look at those encounters and how I've taken them into poetry to reclaim my voice. But now I want to look at two pieces of work which are about putting my voice as the center, but about navigating within the self. So the first, After Two Fridas, was commissioned by Bradford Literature Festival in response to Frida Kahlo's painting After Two Fridas. And I definitely recommend, as you're watching this, if you want to Google it, or if you want to bring up the image in another way, so that you can really see how the words in the poem match the image that was commissioned to be responded to. But this poem is very much about navigating that duality within the self. So not necessarily, I think a lot of people would presume that for me, if I was to write about duality, I would automatically go towards writing about being mixed race. But in this poem, for me, it's about that duality within the self and the conversations we have when there's parts of ourselves that we like or we understand, and parts of ourselves that are wounded and we maybe don't understand them. And those arguments that we have with ourselves, sometimes I think as humans, we can be very hard on ourselves. And so this poem is about joining together of the two selves in response to Frida Kahlo's After Two Fridas. I tried to love her, this other me, tried to bridge our veins, tried to match our hearts, both open, badge wounds in our chests. Why do you hold on to old hopes so tightly? The other me pitches him small in the frame. Why do you push yourself to perfection so entirely? Other me, his currents that bloom against lace. But I tell myself that I am mine to paint, each drop a beat making my own name to spill. I merge worlds with words, make self-portrait mirror, and greet each audience with this brushstroked display from this craft of paint that I call face. Yet, at the end of the day, when thought surpasses endurance and endurance surpasses thought, I'll take this page, this mirror, this frame, and leave it like my own card to call. That I held two selves within myself, that I was not split, but was in fact all. One hand clasping the scissors, ready to damn or to let go. The other making treasured splinters of gilded grief and still life memories, and a union in the center where palm and flesh and knuckle meet, skin wrapping blood, wrapping bone, holding one me in the other, a promise, not letting go. So to close, I'm going to follow that theme of how writing can offer a place for claiming the self and saying, this is who I am, leaving it through my words, like my own card to call, that no one else can define me but myself, through my words, putting myself on the page. And the last poem that I want to end with is one that is continuing that journey by looking at the idea of homes, and actually of choosing one's own home, planting one's feet after all of the different experiences in your life, all of the different ways in which people have tried to tell you, as we did in the beginning poems with Hopscotch, to go back home, to go here, to being like, actually, this is where I'm going to choose my home. This is where I'm going to plant my feet and decide that this is the space that I claim for me. And I do that on the page, in writing as the space that it is. But I do that also in this poem, in the home that I've chosen for myself in Scotland. So this is a film poem that was commissioned by Edinburgh International Book Festival, and it's in the form of a pantoum, which is a Malaysian poetry form, which is something that's also dearly resonant to me as well. And this is called Chosen Home. Chosen Home, a pantoum by Nadine Aisha Jassat. When I came to Scotland, I came to the sea. My growing up was grey, forgotten concrete. I was a child in full colour, learning how to be. My heart, as it beat, longed for the sea. My growing up was grey, forgotten concrete. I don't know how to choose that land, or let it choose me. My heart, as it beat, longed for the sea. I'd turn my ear to the tap and dream and dream. I don't know how to choose that land, or let it choose me. I collect homes like pasts and hold them close in speech. I turn my ear to the tap and dream and dream. I carry blue gold within me, hear it in sleep. I collect homes like pasts and hold them close in speech. I'll love you and leave you, and that's true for me. I carry blue gold within me, hear it in sleep. I need space to roam for it to speak. I'll love you and leave you, and that's true for me, that love can be transported and life lived free. I need space to roam for it to speak. In this place I choose, I hear myself breathe. Love can be transported and life lived free. I'm a child in full colour, learning how to be. In this place I choose, I hear myself breathe. When I came to Scotland, I came to the sea. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Nadine Aisha Jassat. Have a lovely day.